Hello everybody. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I got caught up in a Google search and here we are. And I also realized when I was streaming right from my iPad earlier in the week, it reset all of my settings. So I apologize. I had to fix that while we were working here. How's everybody doing? I hope we're having a great night so far. I see Behance is buffering a little bit, so hopefully we can have a good connection today. We have better weather today, so you can hear the kids outside. My windows are open because the heat finally broke. It's been a mess around here. Okay. Okay, well, actually, I'll go through a couple updates. So last week we worked on Prospero. This is the Emperor card. And I think I have finished him. We're working on him last week. Check it out. Oh my God. I'm thrilled with this. This came out so nicely. I'm just stoked. I think I like looking at it right now. I may put a tiny little bit of a shadow just in here, just to pop that layer out just a little more. I think a lot of it, I think like the magic kind of took away a little bit of the shadow that I was looking for. But that's just kind of on a second glance right now. I'm thrilled with how this came out. I'm so excited. We have Alessandra in the chat. Hey, oh my God, I'm having a Monday. Lost power in the fridge leaked water. That sounds great. Yay for a Monday. I love that. Hopefully it gets better. We're going to color together, so hopefully that makes it better. Yeah, so Prospero is done for now. And then I got started on the next card that I had in the queue. She's the Eight of Cups or the Eight of Moods in this deck. And it's Celia's Note. This one's kind of a bummer. It's how we were introduced to the Celia character in the book. But I'm liking how this card came together. Not because it's a bummer. We're not going to work on this one today. You can see I got pretty far with the colors and such. I was able to work a little bit on the weekend. So I got some progress here, but I want to start on the next card today because I have reasons. So we may come back to this lovely lady a little bit later, but I think I really want to work on the next card, which we will work out together. We have RB in the chat. RB, it's been a while. How are you? Okay, so let me make sure I actually have these things. These are all things I plan to actually check and sort out, and I don't. Okay. So I'm just going to get these. Sorry, guys. I always plan to be super prepared, but you know, you're getting a real life insight onto how my process actually works and its usual chaos. So what I want to go through today is I've mentioned a few times that when I'm building these cards, I use some AI support in my references. So what I want to do is I want to show you what that means so that people don't, because I think people are a little unsure about AI right now. And I don't want people to be freaked out with how I'm doing it. All of my art is my art here, so don't worry. I'm just going to toss these onto my iPad. They were on my desktop when I was doing this research earlier. But I just want to show what my process is and how I use it and how it doesn't have to always be very scary business. Working and enjoying the summer. That's great. I know I'm getting into that mode myself. Can't believe it's going to be July soon, but I'm really excited to be working on these and kind of getting into the summer. I've got some vacation coming up in the next month, and so I'm very excited to be doing that. Mountains and lakes. Oh, I love that. That's so great. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So a big thing for me, like the AI thing kind of freaks me out. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot of crazy things that people are saying, that people are experiencing. Like there's always good and bad for things. So when we had Adobe Max last year, I watched a few of the AI sessions to educate myself on what was going on. And I looked at the Firefly session, which is Adobe's kind of AI generator. And I saw that there was kind of some really cool things that I could use for reference and stuff. So I just like the snake's head on the flute here. So I'm just placing these all here because I want to use them as reference, but I'm going to explain how I got to these in a 2 seconds here. So Firefly is the AI generator kind of engine, I guess, for Adobe. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail right now on how it works and what they're doing, but I know Adobe is doing a lot to kind of protect the artists and things. So this isn't being filtered, isn't using artists AI with like art without them knowing, and using it and stuff like that. So I'm not going to get into the legalities and everything, and I don't want to misstep at all on this. But what I did to generate these, and I've been using AI kind of like I've mentioned as a reference set for helping with poses, for helping with layouts, for helping to kind of get some concepts laid out, and figuring out how that's going. Hang on, we've got some chats going here. The summer is definitely flying by. Oh, cute. Okay, lots of nature. Everybody's doing their nature, which is super great. Okay, so how this engine works is I'll go into Firefly and I can put in kind of any set of words I want. So in this case, I wanted some snake charmers. This is the card that we're going to be working on. I wanted snake charmers. We need a couple snakes. Otherwise, what are they charming? And then I needed, I want to do 2 people. The book doesn't define which one, like how many, but I want 2 because I want a very symmetrical card in this one. So what I did was I think I put in like 2 snake charmers, snakes, cobras in the middle, and just kind of got a few different layouts, and it generates 4 images, and you can kind of say what you want the images to look like. Generally, I find my first one, thank you, Alessandra, says your art looks great. Always looks great. Thank you. This is not mine. This is an AI generated piece. I don't want to be taking credit for this right now. This is going to be one of our references. I don't want anybody thinking I'm taking credit for AI. I generated this, and you can generate kind of the output. So you can generate a photograph. My experience is that generally it'll default to a photograph, but I usually like to do line art because like I find a photograph's kind of hard for reference sometimes. So I want to get some line art, but as you can see, some of these different guys that I have here, some are kind of photorealistic and photos and stuff like that. So you can kind of imply one. Oh, okay, good. Alessandra was talking about the one I showed before. Thank goodness. No, I have not seen your cobra. Is it on your Behance, RB? Can I take a look? So that's the input I put in. So I put in like 2 snake charmers. They were playing flutes because I think this one didn't have flutes in it. So I was like, well, I think I need them to be playing instruments of kind or whatever else. And so I had them, and it generated these outputs. And because I was like, these ones were kind of all, I think, in the same starting point, but then I didn't put it in a style. So this is kind of like a kind of more modeled approach. Obviously, we've got some kind of photos, and it's AI, so you can see some weirdness. Like you can see now the snake's playing the flute in this one, it looks like. And there was one weird one where it was like the flute was the snake and really weird. So some bizarre stuff will come out of an AI image. But really all I'm looking for here is just some reference for how I want to lay out the page and how I want to lay out the illustration. Because sometimes I'll get really hung up, especially with people. The pose, if it doesn't come out right, I get frustrated and it slows me down. So I really want to kind of get this done using AI, or just sometimes the AI, if I'm like, I have these ideas, but I don't know how I would want to lay them out on the page. Usually I'll go through one of these and it won't be what I use, but it'll spark something for me as like an idea generator or a layout generator or something like that. So And the reason why I kind of want to use AI is I could Google a photo of snake charmers and get some real snake charmers and some really great like National Geographic level photos. But I also don't want to risk copying from a photo and accidentally kind of getting too similar. I'm pretty, like, I've been doing this for quite a while. I'm very careful to not like trace a photo. But I want to make sure that like I don't want there to be any like that source data is going to be on my graphic and it's going to be in my file somewhere because my references are always on my file. I don't want there to be any doubt that I'm actually using somebody else's art to do my work. So that's where kind of like an AI kind of generated something. I'm still not tracing it, but I feel like a little more distanced. Again, I don't know the copyright rules and everything, so I'm trying not to, I'm doing my best not to cross any lines. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I'm going to copy. Sorry, RB sending me a painting. Boop, 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 boop. Thank you. I will take a look. Okay. I don't understand your question. P.S. Liao, hi, welcome to the chat. I'm not sure, I can't understand your question. So yeah, so what I wanted to do here, these are going to give me some ideas of how I'm going to do it. I'm still going to generate it in my style. I'm going to be doing my own line art and everything, but this is kind of where a lot of the starting point stuff comes from for me. So I just wanted to be clear and kind of show this part of the process because generally I've done this already before we've done the line art because this is kind of where I fidget through and figure things out. So I also don't even know what I want their costumes to be like. I also kind of want to kind of make these really different and kind of not go with your typical costumes. Like you saw the fortune teller, she's not your typical kind of like with her big flowy scarves and all that kind of stuff. She's very different from what you'd expect. So I kind of want to do that same thing with these guys. I didn't pull out the cards again. I also did a painting of these, snake charmer cards back when I first started this idea. And they had a really cool style to them that I kind of want to incorporate here. But that'll be part of the outgoing process here. So I'm going to get into a little bit of what we're doing here. Working on the snake charmer card, as you can see. I liked, even though these don't really have snake faces, this is the AI business, guys. This is where it's generating. But I liked how the symmetrical look of these snakes. So we're going to kind of work with these. We're going to manipulate these because I also like how these ones curl up at the bottom. I think there's actually a better one down here. So I like how they curl up at the bottom. So we're going to bits and piece a few things together here to get our snakes. And then we're going to hopefully get to a point of the poses with the gentleman here. And again, I might not even have like a gender on each one. They might just kind of be costumed and you won't know. But I like how these guys have their feet kind of really crossed on top of their legs. I'd have to move them a little bit because I'm pretty sure their ankles are broken. But then I kind of want them facing each other, kind of like these guys. So this is where we're going to get into that process. So I'm going to start talking and start kind of going through the process a bit. All right. Okay. All right, I have the Discord link. I'll take a look. Actually, let's just do a quick thing here. Get it in there so that I don't miss it. Ooh. Everybody who's in the Behance chat, go check out that link. It's nice. Spooktober. Nice. Well done, RB. Very nice. I was going to wait till later, but I couldn't do it. Oh dear. Now I've lost everything. Hang on. Okay. So what I want to do here, we're going to, I'm going to select multiples here and turn a bunch of these guys off. I usually, I'll get lots of references together, but I don't always use all of them. Some of them are just kind of an energy, a vibe I'm looking for. So yeah. So we're going to go with a bunch of layers. I'm using the pencil tool. We're in Adobe Fresco today for everybody who's new here. We're working on Adobe Fresco, and this is the 5th card in the tarot deck. Well, second half, like we have 3 and 2 halves. after today. So what I'm going to roughly do, I'm just going to get some just rough lines in for the snakes. We're going to have to really work these together. I'm going to have to find some actual real snake reference to get the faces right on the snakes. So I don't want to be guessing at that, especially with all these like scales and bellies and things. That's always a thing for mostly dragons, but like tattoo artists are always kind of like really big on where the bellies and stuff go. So just doing a rough outline. This is a trace, but we're just doing a rough trace here just to kind of get the space claim going, and I get some information on where the scales are and where the belly is, because I want to hide that away, and I want to show, is this the one? No, this is the one. And I'm going to move these guys over here. Actually, what we might do, do you like this on the TV? You're a funny guy. Sorry, I just looked up and Mojo was definitely just watching the TV. What a funny guy. Okay, I'm going to turn the, okay, opacity down here just so that it's hidden away. Yikes, the face on that snake's really creepy. If you don't like snakes, don't AI snakes apparently. Yuck. It'll be extra creepy. So again, rough space claim here, not trying not to get into too much copying. I'm just going to mirror this so again we can get this snake here. I did think a little bit about doing like one whole half and mirroring it, but I that's a little too rigid for the look I want. I want it to look symmetrical, but also each snake and individual have their own kind of personalities and patterns, because this is a circus card, so it's a black and white one. So these snakes, I'm really going to emphasize the black to white. The snakes start as white, and throughout their performance they turn to black. So I'm really going to play that up a lot in here. Okay, so let's just, oops. Let's get some space claim here. I'll need to look up oh, they're such cool snakes. They're so fun. Those are like a 3D model almost, but I don't think we're going to use any of these references because I'm kind of thinking I actually kind of want the snakes to look up a little bit, or I kind of like the shape of those. I don't have a vision for the face yet, so we're not going to get too deep into that. I'm not going to get too worried right now because that might occur to me a little bit later. And now, in our references, instead of jumping back and forth and making y'all sick, I'm just going to kind of scroll through the same photos on my computer. So, oh, don't do that. Because I kind of like them facing each other. So I wonder if I kind of I had a good combo in my brain earlier and I can't remember what it was. So I think what we're going to do here, and this one I might actually kind of mirror a little bit because okay, not hidden layer, this one. So I kind of want them a 3/4 almost facing each other. But maybe we have them sitting kind of square and turned. You know, kind of like bottom half this. Okay. Top half this almost. So I kind of liked this. Well, that's kind of what those guys are doing, I guess, eh? Okay. So let's get some structure laid out here. So we have this guy here. I'm going to get a new layer going because I want my people to be on different layers so I can start moving things around at some point. Okay, again, like the feet on top, but also a little broken. Whoa. Sorry, one of my cameras freaked out and then everything was refreshing. If I lost you guys, let me know, but I think we're okay. Okay. I'm just trying to think. Because I kind of want to bend this approach a little bit. So I think like the legs would be here. And then feet would actually be here. I'm not sure they're going to be bare feet. Well, they're going to be human feet. They're going to be just have no socks on. Okay. The fabric would. Whoa! What is that doing? Can you just like sit still there, home slice? There we go. Everybody's still here. Phew! Thank goodness. Okay, so if I turn this off for a sec, because this would come from here. It's kind of a bigger leg, so maybe I do like this. This will go to this leg. I'm trying to think of how legs work. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. And this will come up here. And then maybe we turn this guy on. Just leave it, bud. Just leave it. Don't worry about the neighbors. Done, and we'll have this. Okay, and then we'll have, where did my lines go? So pencil lines a little wider than this guy here. I want to kind of roughly get the arm in place here. And then we've got this. Animals and landscapes. That's a good choice. I'm thinking our flute would be here. That's not how one plays a flute, so we'll just have to, for a minute. And this would be, maybe we just keep this part hidden through here and we do flute. And we're going to do this and move it up a bit, and we're going to make it smaller to fit. Now, because I'm kind of thinking that these will be costumes, like the ones I painted. I'm gonna have to dig this out because I know I have a folder of all the paintings that I did originally for this and would be helpful. There's in like a full, like, you know, the green men from the hockey, from the Vancouver games for a while? It was like a full costume like that. But I kind of like the flowy legs because it kind of hides a lot of any weird form stuff we may have going on. Okay, so what we're going to do is duplicate this layer and... Nope. Oh, Mojo. Why are we so sad? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate... So I'm going to move this guy all over the place. But the pop-up that just came up a second ago, it says like that guy's cut off. So I think if I go back up to this guy and do this, like I've lost part of his knee there on the left. So that's why I copied one down there, because if I move this around too many times, I'm going to start losing pieces that I may want later. But I'm kind of thinking... Hi, Moch. That's okay. And then we'll select these two. I kind of want a symmetrical piece. Cool. I just want to make sure I have not lost. Uh-oh, I think I lost Facebook. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. No, we might be good. Let's try again. Oh, we're back. Okay. Phew. Thought something weird was going on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's going to cut that piece off, but this is kind of centered. Not quite. Hang on. Don't snap, it's annoying. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. So we've got save. Our potential charmers here. And turn my snakes back on here. And we're going to pull them up to the front because they're kind of our heroes here. Now I don't want them to... That's okay. Select multiple. I could just merge these two, the two characters, humans, but I'm not confident that I want them to stay this way. So instead of merging that layer and not being able to recover it, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing here. I'm just going to move some of these lines around because, yeah, like I said, these guys are our main focus here. And now I'm thinking... Oh, I was like, there's got to be a third layer, but I already know what's going in the third layer, so we're all set there. Okay. Because they're an outside act, and they're outside, so there's going to be a sky in the back, which is going to be so great. A night sky, which I have lots of plans for. Let's try this. I'm like a little concerned. I don't want to lose the ends of the flutes, but I also don't think that they matter so much. So I think I'm going to stop worrying about that so much. We'll have our snakes here, and then we'll night sky in the back. Okay, okay. So let me just pop open on my screen for my visual reference. I always recommend many, many, many references, because you don't want to be copying anything. I really like the snakes in this one. Okay, let me see here. I really like the kind of character faces and then kind of how it breaks the symmetry a little tiny bit, which is interesting to me. I want it to be really symmetric, but I want some little oddball things. So how big is this snake here? Okay, again, we're going to put these on a new layer, and I'm going to bring down our opacity here. New layer, because I don't really know. Okay, 1 second. Why always sad man? Come here, sad man with no muscles. Come here, sad man with no muscles. You can just come say hi. Okay? You can just come say hi. You're okay. There's not one problem for Mojo. Okay, just settle. There you go. Okay, so sorry. Again, just getting the shape here. I may go back and get some actual for real snake reference, but I think this is going to give me the shape I'm looking for. Okay, and then new layer. We're going to do they're supposed to be cobras, and I think my reference was cobra, like the wording I put in there, but I don't know really the difference. I don't know snakes very well. Okay, so I'm going to turn our charmers off, and I'm going to put our, please just leave them alone, okay, bud? There's not one problem for Mojo. Okay, so that snake can go there, then maybe this one, oops, can be a little smaller, maybe rotate it a bit, and the snake bodies, and it's that way instead of, oops, maybe we can make it do this. Have this, and then I still have the belly there. Pull back this. Again, all this pencil layer bit, this is all just the base for all the big stuff later, so I'm not getting too fussy about accuracy. I just really want the space claim there. So this guy had his mouth here. I don't know how much detail I'm going to have in this in the end. I don't know where that's going to go. Okay, and then this guy. That's not what I wanted to do at all. We want to put it here. Okay. So we're in our first, right. So let's draw on the snake, shall we? There we go. So all of this was the belly. Okay, so we've got our 2 snakes. And now let's pull our humans back in and try and decide, because what I had done before, like I said, these were full like a full costume. So again, I'm going to continue with the no faces theme. No, they don't have arms in the back. That's not intentional, but I think we're going to make it a design element. I'm just trying to work through some of this. Because we're going to have our snakes. White to black, I think. Let me confirm. Because if it's the other way around, that may gradually change to black. Okay. Because if it was black on top, that'd be really heavy. And I don't want that to be really heavy. It's going to be white on top, and they're going to be gradually returning to black, which means we probably have a little bit room to make these guys a little darker in their costumes. Oh. Sorry, I'm going to lose my phone in 2 seconds. Please hold. Come on, you. Come on, you. Okay. Good Lord. Okay. So just trying to figure out how I want these guys to, what their costumes to actually look like. Because the full bodysuit doesn't also work with like the loose fabric on the legs either. Just solidifying a few lines until something speaks to me here. So I'm fiddling with this. It was a pretty good artsy weekend around here on my end. We had markets in town full of delightful local vendors, which was fun. Got to make some connections, which is good. Went to a movie night at one of the local studios where we got to do art and craft amongst fellow arts and crafters, which was a lot of fun. It's getting late for RB. Oh no! I am thinking, because next week is a holiday here, but I kind of want to hang out and still do a live stream. So I may start earlier next week. Thanks for joining, RB. I really appreciate it. Have a great night. So for all the people who are in the different time zones and having a hard time catching the lives, I may start earlier. I may do a 2-hour one next week because I still want to do a live stream, but I want everybody to get an opportunity to hang out with me. I'm living for these snakes. They came together, and I'm not a snake person. They came together really nice. Let me see if there's, I don't think it says anything with their costume. 2 white cobras. Move back and forth. People play flutes, circle each other. Starry night above. Don't really talk about the actual costumes. There's too much leeway. There's too much freedom. Oh, this won't matter because the snake's there. Okay. That's going to be a tricky approach. The white to black. And I kind of want to tackle it with stained glass. How fun would that be? That'd be so great. Okay. Because I kind of had like a... Maybe we can emphasize... I don't really love the cape idea. I think it looks really cool on the other guys, but if we don't... I don't want to do the head scarves. Really, it doesn't really kind of go with the aesthetic that I'm hoping for, but maybe we kind of like have some ribbons here that and drawing this kind of after the fact, after the mirroring and everything, that this is where kind of the individual part may come in. I don't want them to be too matchy, but I want them to be a little bit more similar to one another than the snakes, just so that they do fall into the background because they're not the main focus. I do like the flowy pants because they look cozy. I'm just wondering how to not make these creepy. I'm throwing a pile of layers on here just so I can kind of test some things out. Unless we kind of do. I just want to be really careful too. I don't want to be offending anybody with different unresearched things. Them? No. This one, that's one more. What are the other ones? Okay, so I don't mind that. That looks like a little bit more, the flow to that kind of hair scarf situation flows a lot nicer with the snakes than just the bald head. So maybe we do a do something a little different. Don't, please. Leave the neighbors be. Excuse me, what did I just say? Just leave them alone, okay? They're just going to their house. Probably had a really long day, and they don't want you yelling at them. Thank you. Hey, Cranky Pants. That's enough. Thank you. No, that's a little creepy. I don't like that. Can you stop? Hello? There we are. Thank you. You know, I don't like that one. It's too creepy for me. Excuse me. I know. Poor Mojo. Such cranky guy. Come here. There we go. Just sit with me. See, I such fun. Hey, excuse me. They're just in the hall. They're not coming in. You don't want to come in with your cranky pants? Leave them alone, please. Excuse me. That is enough. Thank you. Excuse me. Don't know what to do. Alessandra says hi. Does that make you feel better? I hope so. Let's do a Google. Yes, please eat the apple. That's okay. Snake charmer head dress. Or head wear. I like that better. Just a bunch of baseball hats that say snake charmer on them. That's not helpful. Ooh, intriguing. Kind of like the look of that one. So let's get rid of this and see if we can get something else going here, because it's kind of a little bit top hat-ish, which is something that is a big deal with this Circus Madness. Just undoing because I don't like the orientation of what I did here, and I'm making sure. Okay, yes, I do have a new. Okay, so we want I don't know how this will transfer over, but we will see. Only one way to find out. Kind of has a pile of silliness looking at it here. No. I like the idea, but I'm not doing enough with the concept, I don't think, to make it come through. I'm thinking maybe I'll do something like, where did this person go? Okay, kind of a, just like picking from lots of different styles and different kinds of photos. Old school ones. Okay. Behance is buffering a lot. You guys are far behind. Okay. Like a starry sky, so I don't need a third one. We have, Marouane, thank you so much for joining in. So try a hat like the one with people who live in the desert. Okay, let me see what I can find here. Dishwasher? That doesn't make any sense. Nope, not shopping. You can see why this is usually why I don't do this on the live stream. I think it's cool to show my process and I really enjoy doing this. But this is the long process. So this is the challenging part. This is getting the layout, this is getting the pages done. This is kind of ironing all these things out, and that's part of how I get to the end. So this is kind of just like that back and forth and all that kind of stuff. It can take longer sometimes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close that lasso and I'm going to cut selection, paste selection on its own layer. That's what I want. Because if I hide this for a sec and try this, try this kind of instead, and then we've kind of got a multi kind of cultural approach here. What do you think here? Oh dear, did I lose you guys? Behance just went black. Hang on. Okay, I'm still on YouTube, I'm still on Facebook. Not sure what happened to Behance. Hang on. Quick refresh. Yikes. Something is up. I don't even know any storms in the area. What the heck's going on? Yikes. Okay. Don't really like this initially. Kind of looks like a pile of silliness again. Let's see. What do we think? What do we think? Do you like this hat or these? Or do I make them matching? I probably make them matching, don't I? And then what if we took this out? No, we probably make them matching. It's probably what happens. Thoughts? I know Behance is really behind where I'm at right now, so I will just delay and wait for answers. Something's going on, my connection. Matching probably makes most sense. And I kind of like this one because I'm not really making any like kind of cultural decisions consciously. If I am making a cultural decision, please tell me. Oh man, okay, I'm living for how these snakes came together. These snakes are so nice. So this is the part of the process where I am going to put all of my references together. I'm trying to get into a habit here of grouping all of my stuff so it's easier to find, because some of the things, my files like the dragon and all that, like they got really messy. And it was really hard to find what layers did what and how they interacted. It was like a lot. So finding the right ones, and then as I got into like the later stages, things weren't staying on the right layer. It was crazy. Okay, so now's the point where we are going to do our line art, our inked line art. And I don't have my piece of paper with my notes on it. No, I definitely have it. It's in here somewhere. This is why one has a filing system. Okay. Because I need to try and find. I've got a good old Prospero here. I'll actually make the note. So what I want to do is just want to find out, because I think it's 3 is our main line. Undo. I think 2 is our, oh please don't be like that. Glass line. And I think 5. Okay, hi, handsome. Is this line? And then we do 10 for the other ones. Gotcha. Okay. 5 for outline, 10 for sticker lines. Did I draw this? Yes. So the Prospero that we were on, Marouane, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. This was the card we did previously. So this is the style that these snake charmers are going to ultimately be in when we get down the line for sure. So I drew this one. This is part of a tarot deck series. This is the 3rd card that I completed. I do have to still do the border and the outside. Marwan. Okay, thank you so much for correcting me. So I still have to do like the border and the back of the cards, which will be something that we will be doing on the live streams. I just wanted a couple color suited cards and a couple black and white cards done in the style so that I could kind of build that up, and then we can kind of go from there. So that's what we're working on right now. You guys have the fortune teller and the kittens that were there. But we're working on the snake charmers now. So the next part here is going to be some line art. So I know we're at 8 o'clock, but I'm going to give this a few more minutes, and we're going to try throwing down some line art here to kind of solidify the beautiful creatures we have here. So our main lines are at a 3.0, and I like to put my lines on the vector because they're nice and smooth, they're nice and crisp. And if I want to move things around later, they're going to hold on to their nice crispness. And if I want to edit later the line art, I can take it into Illustrator. But I think once we get the color all sorted out, we're not going to want to do that. It's going to take up a lot of space. So these lines, I try to be pretty careful with them, but they're a first pass. So I know that I almost never keep my first pass lines. Oh, what the heck. What a day. There we go. Sorry, I accidentally opened my Zoom. I don't want to be on Zoom. Because we're going to come in here with these. We're going to come in with a hierarchy line that'll clean up some of these. And we're also going to do some of the stained glass lines. So we're going to be coming through these quite a bit. So I want them to be pretty good off the top. But I'm not going to get too worked up if they're not accurate right now. because we're just going to be doing lots of passes. Now I just realized I don't have any like snake tongues. Maybe I don't need them. We'll see. Ouch. I don't kick you. Jeez, March. Trying to get a nice smooth line here. Oh no, that's absolutely not the line I wanted. Let's see, the hard part about drawing a snake is getting kind of an even thickness all the way around. So it doesn't look like a lumpy snake. That's not what I wanted either. Okay, let's go for this guy next, and then we'll fix those lines in a minute. So the studio's been pretty busy right now. I'm trying to get all of my fall market things sorted ahead of vacations and stuff that I have coming up. So I don't want to be worrying about all files and all that kind of stuff over vacation, because that's not fun. And working on that kind of stuff, working on a painting. I have a commission for a couple logos for a colleague of mine. Things are busy around here. It's crazy, but in a good way. I liked working on all this stuff. Oops. Hey, Moch. Where's your braids? Why are we wibbling, man? Why you weeble all the time? Just settle in. Oops. Why are you so nice? Trying to decode the lines I drew. Okay, now put in belly there. Okay, so if I turn off all of our pencils, there we go. So we can see, so there's like, it starts with the idea reference layout with the AI or photo reference, depending on what I need in the start. Not tracing, but using as reference or kind of guides for how, like where the feet need to be or knees and stuff like that, especially with human poses. I get very I don't practice often enough, and I get kind of bogged down in human poses and seeing where like the legs or the arms, the hands, fingers, things like that, where they should be. That's why I use the reference. So sketch it out and then kind of have the bare bones, then throw my sketch over top, and then from there throw my line art over top, and then adjust it accordingly as well. So seeing a few things that when I drew out my sketch lines that looked a little bit weird, that now I want to kind of clean up. Anything that doesn't connect properly or isn't quite fully connected. Mojo, you're fine, buddy. Come on. I'm not going to get too worked up about that because we're going to have a... Actually, these snakes would make a wicked sticker, actually, now that I think about it. When they're done, they're going to be awesome. If they come out the way my head, they do in my head. And we'll finish this. Oops. Okay. So we'll save that, and then we'll turn this back on. So there's iteration after iteration after iteration. So you can see that if we go back into our reference, we have kind of the essence here, but we've removed quite a bit from the snakes. Like we are not at, like we have not copied this illustration at all. Come here. Why are we cranky, guy? Enough. Like we're not copying this. There's some layout stuff, but there's been a lot of changes since. So that kind of gives you an idea of kind of a starting point or a good way that you can use AI images or photo images to get from point A to point B, and not be relying on AI. Like there's nothing AI about this art. We're still illustrating. I'm still using my artistic license to kind of fix some things, using my brain to see, like, you know, like I said, like the ankles looked broken. Like I know that's a pose you can do. You can sit like that. I sit like that on a regular basis. But they looked broken. So you just like you use your artistic license and you use your knowledge to kind of fix up the images. So that's how I'm using it right now, to make sure that the things come together in a good way, but also kind of gets me a few oh, in the image and the Behance, that's what you were looking for? Oh, okay, good call. Good call. Yeah, I was going to try some of those as well, but I didn't want it to take over. They get very ornamental as well. We'll see how this line art comes together, because if I still think it's like lacking, I'll give that a try. But those are the hats you meant. Okay, thank you for clarifying. I'll give it a shot offline for sure. Oh no, I forget where I was going with my statement. But yeah, so it's a good way to use some reference and get some ideas and kind of get things moving along, because I find I do get bogged down in the details and everything. So having these things kind of to support pushing me forward rather than getting hung up on it too much. Sorry, I had 3 thoughts and I said them all out loud. So I just use the AI to kind of push me forward to get rather sense, so I'm not getting hung up on poses or trying to get photos. Like I've done quite a bit in the past where like I know the pose I want, so I do the pose and get a photo. And that works really well too. That's a great way to do it, but there's not always something that you can do that way. So I think this is a really good way to be using a AI support or photos, again, as reference. Please don't be tracing any, especially a photo. Please don't be unless it's yours. Go ahead. But don't get too hung up on tracing or anything like that, because that's where we all start to get in trouble. I'm going to do a little bit of line art here. I don't worry too much about layering and things here, because I kind of have my layout pinned down with the sketch. That's all that movement and all those other things that I did. I did that at the sketch level. So rather than having so many line art layers, I'm pretty confident that I'm okay to just ink the rest of this on a single layer. I'll put my other the different line weights on a different layer just because they have different purposes. But for right now, this single line weight can all go here. So that's how I would continue going there. And one more quick change and then I'll let you guys all go, but I'm just going to show you like the next step because this is where another part of the process people can miss sometimes. Throwing in my stained glass lines. So I'm going to start throwing in, what I think would be really cool is I might will I model out the belly? Maybe I will, eh? We'll see. Start doing our lines, and this is where I really want these to be like really crisp and straight. So that's where I draw and hold. You'll see tiny little adjustments to straighten that out. Because I want these to be straight lines. And I have this on its own separate layer so I can figure things out and work through these because the lines don't always come out exactly how I want, and I got to work through them a little bit. It's easier to erase them off their own separate layer and not damage the main line art. I'm gonna have to really think about how I'm gonna pull these guys together in the different colors and paper patterns. Oh, I just had like 8 ideas on how to do this. This one's gonna be fun. Oh, I just had a really good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna try and save it for the live next week so that you guys can all see it. Oh, I had a really good idea. Yeah. I think I am gonna model at the belly, maybe like in a kind of dramatic way, a little bit kind of like the Kraken maybe. Instead of having like each little tiny piece, I may be like stylistically take an approach to it. But I'll work through that this week and see what I can come up with. Maybe like this. Oops. Okay. So I'd continue that around the whole illustration, and then I would do my hierarchy lines. I do the 5 points just to outline. I'll be outlining the snakes, and then I'll be outlining our humans because that's the next layer down. And then going from there, we'll get into the color, we'll get into the style, we'll get into everything else. So I'm going to try my best, before the next live to get all the line art done here. Hierarchy, so we can really play with color next week. I'm actually really excited for like the 8 million ideas that just popped into my head. Thank you, Alessandra. I'm about to sign off so you won't miss much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do really appreciate it. So I'll do some line art next week. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, so keep an eye on the social media to see how I want to do it. I think I might do a 2-hour live stream on Monday. Might start earlier just to help the people in the time zones that have been struggling to make it for my time that I have here. But keep an eye on the socials and see what's going on. But I do want to stream on Monday. I miss you guys when I don't stream. So yeah, so I just wanted to go through a bit of this part of the process. Like, as you can see, it can be kind of muddy. It can be a little bit back and forth. We're a little unsure. Hey, Mojo, leave those neighbors alone. Thank you so much. And so it can be a little bit back and forth, a little bit chaotic. That's usually why I do it offline before you guys get started, in case something goes completely sideways. That was the entire risk of today, and I really worried about 3 or 4 separate times actually during the session that it was just not going to work. But I'm glad I didn't waste everybody's time. I do appreciate everybody coming out. Mojo, leave those neighbors alone, please. We're almost done. Stop. Go boy, quiet. Come here. Thank you. Let's go. So I want to thank everybody who tuned into the stream tonight. Everybody who commented. We have RB. Thank you so much. Alessandra. Thank you. Marwan. Thank you. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Oh, Melissa's here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate everybody showing up tonight. All your comments, feedback. Like I said, make sure to follow me on the socials to see what's going on next week. It is a holiday here, but I will still be streaming. And maybe we'll work on this guy a little bit more. It'll be so much fun. Thanks again, everybody. You're awesome. Have a great night, and I'll catch you next week. Bye, all.